Fists of Chaos is a tabletop role-playing game I wrote in my notes as being the first and only Fistpunk TTRPG. This is the worst name I have ever devised, but fit the redux and the tone I was attempting to go for better or for worse. The original Fists of Chaos came out in the year of our Lord 2020, after inheriting a arcade game TRPG from someone else. This morphed into a fighting game RPG, and a year later became Beast Mode as the newer Redux, though it was an early reduxing attempt, so it wasn't great or good. Honestly, it was terrible, but an endearing pre-Notepad Little Dark Age edit era. When it was selected to receive its second Redux, Ultra Anarchy or Ultra Chaos or whatever the fuck I keep calling it, it seemed appropriate to do something I've been meaning to do more and more. Make an actual setting for it. This did begin a rather extensive destiny of the Notepad Anon and the Unified Setting Project arc, where 3, then 4, and now 5 unified settings exist to serve as homes for games without one. Of course, the greater Notiverse is real, but we don't talk about that. Fists of Chaos is now set in the Last City. The Last City at the end of the world, ruled by a god known as Splendor. Splendor is a living deity that has specifically crafted the Last City to barely work. Because working as intended, there should be punks, and punks must fight the man, and the man must have power over the punks, but never enough to get rid of them entirely. It's a setting built around creating the final punk setting. Of course, we will never fit anything traditional in there because I'm still a spite-powered machine more than a man. You, though, well, you're fist punks, which is to say poor, hungry, and stupid martial artists who believe that beating the shit out of one another constitutes being a real person, and you're damn good at that part. Fists of Chaos uses a rather heavily tweaked 2DX system, inspired by Barbarians of Lemuria, the end-all be-all of system basics. At the start, you take 2d6 and try to beat 10. That's pretty much it, though. Nothing too exotic outside of it. But it is so rarely simple as well. Better rolls mean more intensity. More intensity means better results. The more you push, the more you gnash, the more you have a chance of success. Most penalties and bonuses of the game come from you either changing your fate or fighting against it. But let's get to characters. They underwent a pretty extensive revamp. Rather than being fighting man characters TM, now they are a bit more inspired and tied to the setting. From the skillful pure-blood humans to hulking mutated monsters that all practice the ancient art of beating the shit out of one another for fun and profit. Nothing too dramatic, though the more human you are, the better others treat you, but your attributes are a lot better. But you lose your deviations, which are half mutations, half superpowers, and almost entirely useful to have, except if you're a complete freak of nature, but Splendor really doesn't mind all that much. Though we should get to the real meat and potatoes, the fighting styles and fighting in general. Each character has a fighting style that refines their abilities. Each style has a number of tiers reflecting how complex it is, with better styles having more options for offensive, defensive, utility, and keywords, but may not be as simple to pick up. Learning the secret Sarazan style to manipulate the soul is great and complicated and may not do well against Dan Fu, which Dan the man made in a drug-fueled bender one night and teaches people for fun. He also gives people a knife. The actual fighting is focused around manipulating breath and momentum. Breath is your wellspring of stamina. With a lot, you can act a lot. With little, you're more dedicated to your few actions. Momentum is your ability to actually take it and use it. The mapping system uses a positioned variable map, which is a fancy way of saying placing oneself into the defensive icy position or to the raging inferno where you don't care about being alive. The round has every combatant looking to gain the momentum, allowing them to use momentum actions to beat people up and expend breath to do so. Good fighters use a string of techniques and abilities to min-max their breath expenditure and abilities. Real fighters stab a motherfucker with a knife if they have one, though you may want to dip, surrendering the momentum to another. But people can also steal the momentum from you, countering your ass and receiving punishment instead. Combat is a game of pushing, pulling, and expending breath when needed, or at least surviving the onslaught by burning it down in defensive actions to live another day. Fist of Chaos's rework was large, a pivot into making a dedicated system for a dedicated world, and one that wants you to bleed. Problems? Oh, of course. The leveling system is far more complicated than it really needs to be. I was worried people would spike too quickly in power, but now it feels really janky, if thematic. The pivot also canceled the other fighting games instead. Fist of Chaos is no longer Street Fighter, King of Fighters, or Guilty Gear. It just became Xenoclash and Tekken's half-retarded child they both refuse to acknowledge. Will there be any more of this? Of course, the endless grind never ends. Will there be more right now? Well, no. It's been about a year since I wrote this thing, so yeah, maybe not. Wait, I'm that far behind on schedule?